guys, what is going on? Welcome back to the channel. As always, guys, this is Cody here with Cody Reacts. Also here, as always, my main man. I'm here with Daddy Dave, aka Yeti, the legend himself, guys. The legend himself, Slim Shady. He's got 1,000 nicknames. Anyways, outside of that, guys, don't forget, hit that subscribe button. Let's go ahead and get into this right now. This is Cricket, the full episode on Netflix, explained. Let's get locked in because we really want to get caught up on cricket and as much as we can. So, without further ado, questions or let's go. Okay. Here we go.
Cricket is an old British sport.
Very well played, sir.
Cricket.
Oh wait, I do remember the first game was in 1844, USA versus Canada. That was the first cricket game ever played. So it was kind of crazy that I heard him say it was over. Did he say Britain?
It is an English game.
Yeah. But the first game, actual match ever played was USA versus Canada.
Okay.
Of course, doesn't even have rules. It has laws, and that immediately strikes some people as pompous and self-regarding.
Those laws were mostly written in 19th century London, at a pitch still considered the home of cricket, called Lord's.
Well, this is Lord's, deeply rooted in tradition and in the ritual tradition brings.
Yeah, God bless cricket. It has a tea break in the game.
It's
What?
People
What?
can't get their mind around how they stand out there for 5 days.
You already know if this was like in America, one of the top 3 in America, you know those people would be out there like sipping on something like nice wine and stuff like that. Because we're not tea people. I mean, I'm not. I don't know about you.
It wouldn't be for a spot of tea.
I think it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
Well, it goes back to the earlier things that we learned about cricket, where there's the spirit of the game.
Yeah.
And the British don't do anything without their spot of tea.
They need the tea, yeah.
But cricket has changed. There's a new form of the sport that's bringing in more money, fans, and a different style of play. But one thing hasn't changed.
It's complicated. It is one of the most complicated sports on earth.
Yeah, we've been there.
Totally wiggly. It doesn't even follow any apparent obvious reason.
That didn't put off the 1 billion people that were estimated to have watched a single cricket match in 2015 between India and Pakistan.
You said 1
That's
billion?
1 in 7 humans. So how did this confusing British game become one of the most popular sports on Earth?
Wow, that stadium looks so cool.
Battle between a slice of willow and a round.
Cricket explained. Sounds simple.
2 teams of 11 play each other on a field shaped like an oval. The batting team has 2 players on the field at a time, on either end of the pitch.
Okay.
They're trying to score runs, while the fielding team is trying to get them out. On each side of the pitch is a wicket. The wicket is 3 stumps topped by 2 bails. A batsman stands in front.
See, and I'm just going to say real quick, when people don't understand that the videos were put out in the wrong order, I apologize. It was because I'm dealing with stuff in the hospital. But, yeah, so, like, people were trying to describe even just this part to me, but it's like, we already know it because they don't, like, reality guys, we recorded the video that you're talking about. Not only did you reply to it a week late, but we also recorded it probably 2 weeks before that. So you're coming like a month late telling us like this is what this is and this is what that is. But that's why all we can really say is, hey, nice, cool. Thanks for the comment. Like we already kind of know, so we're not trying to be rude about it. It's just, again, that we did this video.
We're trying to improve ourselves and our knowledge.
Yeah, but please remember, we continue to record, we continue to learn. So, again, same thing today. Somebody's like, oh, man, you've only watched like 3 videos. We've watched like 50 at this point if you're watching this one. So, let's keep it moving.
A wicket, trying to hit the ball delivered by a bowler from the other end of the pitch.
I know, even today some kid was like, this is what a bowler does.
They score runs by exchanging positions with the other batsman. Each exchange equals 1 run. While they're running, the fielders try to get the ball and hit one of the wickets before a batsman gets there.
They can have more than 1.
If they don't make it before the ball knocks the bails off the stumps, they're out, and a new batsman comes in. If the batsman...
So far, good on everything? Everything?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I think this is all. I mean, they're starting at the very base of it, which I do like. So when we do get more into it and it gets a little bit more complicated, just let me know if you want me to pause it so we can both try and understand.
So
it.
far, so good.
Yeah. I'm
Hits
good
the
with
ball
this so
hard
far.
enough, they won't have to run. If they hit it to the boundary, it's worth 4 runs. And all the way over the boundary,
6.
that's 6.
Yeah.
If a fielder catches the ball, the batsman is out. The bowler can also get a batsman out if their delivery hits the wicket, knocking the bails off the stumps.
And that's that video we watched.
A batsman can choose
Again, we
not
also
to
made
swing
like 4
or
of those
swing and
videos.
miss the ball.
Not out yet.
And he won't get out as long as the wicket is safe.
Ooh,
The bowler,
okay.
however, can only bowl 6 deliveries at a time. That's called an over, and it's really important. After each over, a teammate takes their place. When 10 of the 11 batsmen are out, it's called an innings, and the other team bats.
Okay.
In traditional cricket,
I gotta be honest. I didn't know that very last part until they described it. I don't know about you, but now that makes sense on how that works.
Yeah.
And I think that was like the very first video when we were like, how do they pick
Who does what?
Yeah, exactly. And that was the best. This is a great
each
video.
team has 2 innings in a match, and the team with the most runs at the end
Up to
wins.
5 days.
If they haven't finished after 5
Not my
days,
sport. That one
the
might not be
umpire
my
calls a
5
draw.
days. I don't know if that's my sport.
Technically, there are 10 ways to get out. But if you ask someone to explain them, cricket can get very confusing very quickly.
Leg before wicket, one of the ways someone can be out, and the nature of the umpire, the nature of fielding positions, city mid-on, city mid-off, extra cover, third man. It's all very coded and peculiar, cricket, I suppose that's the problem.
The British didn't just write the rules of cricket. They spread
just
it around
listed,
the
like,
world
so many
by
more
taking it to their
things.
colonies in the 18th and 19th centuries.
British soldiers played it, and the local people either took to it or didn't. In Canada, they didn't particularly, a bit cold, so they went for the ice hockey instead. But
That's
in
true,
the
Canada.
warmer countries, it seems obviously to have taken off.
Even the United States played before baseball became the patriotic pastime.
America decided cricket smacked of colonialism, and therefore they were not going to play.
But in other colonies, playing cricket was an opportunity to beat the colonizers at their own game. And the English began inviting teams to come test their skills against them in England. The competitions were called test matches, which is what the long form of the game continues to be
So
called.
this had
Most of the
number of
countries and the
overs was
top countries
unlimited
that
on
play
this
the game
one.
has that little element of wanting to get back at the English.
And the colonies got a new opportunity to do that starting in 1975 when cricket got a World Cup.
Without the World Cup, cricket would still be a gentlemanly agreement. We're free at that time of year. We'll come over. Whereas the World Cup gives everyone the chance to prove themselves.
In order to play a tournament, matches needed to be shorter and end with a winner and a loser. So they played a one-day form of the game that limited the number of overs faced by each team. The first 2 World Cups were both won by the West Indies.
My mother was jumping in the kitchen when the West Indies were winning. Did she care about the game that much? No. Did she understand the game that much? No. But cricket meant a lot to us as West Indians, and not just in the Caribbean.
In the third
Drinking
World
champagne
Cup,
right there,
England
man.
didn't even make the finals. They had lost to India, a team playing against the West Indies after having won a single game in the first 2 World Cups.
In the final, nobody gave India a chance. They were like interlopers. On the day of the match, the feeling was, who are these people? Why are they at Lord's? Why isn't England at Lord's?
But on the turf of their former colonizer, and with odds of 66 to 1, India won.
That's an upset.
In '83, which for the first time, Indians at home watched their team win abroad.
That's awesome. That's pretty cool.
This is a new India emerging. I mean, the economic prosperity of India
Pop
came
those
a
bombs.
decade
I think
later.
he's got
We
milk.
think that marked the
Does he
moment
got milk? He
when
had
India
milk.
was confident.
Unless there's something special in it. I don't know, but he's like milk.
Whatever you like.
And we played like a winners throughout the game, throughout the series. Everybody fight for their lives, and they said, we will do it.
1983, that generation began to feel they didn't look to have a merit certificate from England to feel that they were good enough to compete in the world. India, for the first time, began to show that a country of that size, if it has prosperity, if it has television reach, it can play an enormous part in reshaping cricket, which it has done.
4 years later, India hosted the first World Cup outside of England.
Did India
There's an
win?
Indian word called tamasha, which means fun, excitement, glamour, uncertainty, all rolled into one. And one-day cricket became instant tamasha.
Ooh.
You just are amazed at something that was started on green turf at the site of an English church, and you know, light applause and well played, good fellow.
I like this guy. He's an actor, isn't he?
I don't know who he is.
He's an actor.
Pakistan win the World Cup. A magnificent performance in front of 87,000 people. Imran Khan has led his side.
Crowd wide on the crease, and that goes for four. The crowd loving every minute of it.
Could be caught.
That's game.
Sachin Tendulkar celebrates.
Political power then became that the World Cup was worth so much money, and that India and Pakistan were bringing so much of that money, that the sort of democratization of the game, and it went from being England and Australia running the game to a more global thing.
In England,
Oh, that makes
domestic
sense,
cricket
though.
was losing fans. So something was done to save the sport at home. But it would only accelerate the power shift to Asia. In the early 2000s, a British TV network paid for Stuart Robertson and his marketing team to research what the problem was.
The key word that came out of that was cricket was inaccessible. It was a sport for the posh.
Robertson had an idea. An even shorter form of cricket, limited to just 20 overs for each team, that would last 3 hours.
Oh, so basically
And we
what
asked those
baseball
people
is
if we
today,
introduced a
kinda.
game of cricket that lasted less than 3 hours, would they come to see the game? And all of those people who were indexed as never having come to a cricket match before, they massively...
Okay, so a question for you. Would you, for a cricket match that you know is going to be like 3 to 6 hours, would you rather do that, or would you rather go to one that's 2 to 3 hours?
Well, you know,
I'm not even going to ask the 5 days.
there's so much tradition from when it started to where it appears to be today.
Yeah.
And it seems like, just like, I don't want to compare it to hockey, but they took a lot of the fighting out of hockey to get it to format into a 3-hour event.
Yeah.
Everybody, as we know, every minute of every day is important, and you need to make sure that your time is well spent. So I'm sure there's still traditionalists out there that would love the 5 or 6 hour or even the 5-day one. But for me, it seems like they've curtailed the sport to fit into my time frame for 3 hours. So I can handle a 3-hour cricket match, especially the more I learn about it and understand it, more so than the 5 or 6 hour one.
Because on top of that, you can enjoy it, right? But to a point where it's like, if you're watching a match for like over 5 hours, and that's kind of most of your day. I mean, if you're the type of person, I know me and him, we're the type where we always got to be doing something, work or chores or
something.
You know, we just can't sit in bed, if that makes sense. So, and the other big thing is that I think a lot of people, this is just a known fact at this point, is a lot of people, when it comes to their attention span in life, they can't even sit through a basic less than 3-hour match to begin with without fussing, needing popcorn, the bathroom.
Yeah.
And again, that's another large percentage of people that still, like me, I don't watch any American basketball, any American football. I just don't, because I would rather spend my time doing stuff like this right here, learning about cricket, doing reaction videos, writing, reading, stuff that I like to do versus watching. You know, I would love to play cricket, but I don't want to watch somebody play it for 6 hours, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And again, I think that just goes along with maybe my generation, a little bit younger. We just feel like everything we've learned in life, We've learned how to basically compartmentalize our time. So we see that 6 hours not only as a 5 or 6 hour match, but do we have to pay to get in? Is it like, again, it's not worth it even then too. Then you got to pay on top of that. So I feel like it's one of those things. I know my buddy says he really likes the ones that are old school. He's watched a lot of videos on them. He's learned cricket because he kind of grew up in an area where I guess they played a lot of cricket even at school. So he's actually got the chance to learn it, how to play it, played it for a little while, just for fun, of course. But he likes the old school ways. He doesn't mind it, but he told me he does do this, is he kind of watches it in segments because he can't sit there the whole time. So he'll watch 30 minutes, but he always makes sure he sees the beginning, the middle, and the end, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But I do agree that, yeah, if you can go under 3 hours, I could watch a cricket match every day because I really do like cricket. Like, it really is.
Yeah, and they're changing.
Sport.
Didn't they say 2000 was the year
Yeah.
that they? So that's 21 years ago.
Yeah. And that's when they hired these guys to come in and figure out a way to do that.
And it makes sense to do it because if you think back in the old days, people had time to go. They didn't have TVs.
Well, yeah,
so they
that
could
too,
spend
that
5
too.
days and have tea and everything.
And that's what I meant by our generation. It's like if it's on the TV, we can just fast forward to the last 15 minutes. So
different world.
Different world, but I'll take under 3 hours any
And
day.
saying, yes, we would come to that.
They call the new format 2020, T20 for short.
Okay, so
and
this
pitched
was
it
the
to heads of
T20.
English
Somebody
cricket
was
at
explaining
Lord's.
this to me.
We're arranged
couple
around
of
this
like
enormous
weeks ago.
table in alphabetical order. So it started with Derbyshire, then Durham, Essex, and it went all the way around to Yorkshire. You know, the 60-year-old white males who had loved their traditional cricket, don't particularly like change. Then the vote went up, started counting the hands as quickly as I could, and we realised that it was 11-7 in favour.
The next summer,
So
T20
technically it barely
made its
passed.
debut
Yeah.
in England.
The guy on the PA system, at the start of the game, he said, "Welcome to the future of cricket." And it was amazing. It
sounds
was a
kinda
great
cool.
statement.
Yeah. Gave me goosebumps.
Not everyone
yeah.
agreed.
I still remain to be sold on the idea. I don't like the razzmatazz that's going to go with it.
The rest of the world got their opportunity to judge the new
his teeth
format
missing in
in
the-
2005.
He's English.
We welcome the world into Eden
They're
Park,
pet
Auckland, New
teeth.
Zealand.
I don't know
the
what that
first
is. Yeah, I've
ever
never
2020
seen-
international in the history of the game. New Zealand against Australia.
It felt a little bit like they weren't taking it very seriously.
And here they come.
Oh, yes. This right here, this has to be like the cover, the thumbnail. Like, where did this guy come from? I need to know who this man is. I do.
Goodness me. What is
From
it
New
like?
Zealand.
Or a lot, like they weren't
I
taking it
need
very
to know
seriously.
They
it.
were
Like,
all but drinking.
I'll
during
grow
the
my
game.
hair out
And that
too,
tells you how
so-
serious the game was.
Oh my heavens! They looked like a psychedelic funk band in Chicago in 1975.
That reputation stuck, and when the format got its own World Cup, the advertising made it clear that
2007.
T20 cricket was for
Party people! The ICC World T20 from the
hey man, however you gotta market it, you know?
You turned it
India were
into a
like,
big
this
event.
is stupid. We've already got one-day cricket. We're more than happy. We don't need this other stupid thing.
T20 cricket was an English invention. India had almost dragged into the World Cup of 2007 in Johannesburg. They were virtually dragged there.
They sent over a young team. That happened to be the best thing they could have done because a lot of the old players didn't really understand T20 cricket, whereas the young players kind of understood that you had to go as hard as you could.
And that's what I like too. I feel like shortening a game,
Of all the
you're
teams
just
that India were
you're at
playing,
your
it was
very
Pakistan.
best
They were gonna
those
lose to Pakistan
2
in
or
the
3
final,
hours.
and then
Yeah.
Misbah
Anything
al-Haq, just
over
as
is
he's about to hit
just
the winning runs, hits
you're
the ball
getting
straight up in the
exhausted,
air.
you're getting tired.
The Johannesburg miracle. And as a result of that, India said, this is T20. If one-day cricket was tamasha, this
Yeah.
was super tamasha.
You love it,
In 2008,
and you don't love
India
it,
launched
but
a
then you
new
love it when you're
T20
winning,
tournament
right?
Well,
called the Indian
winning
Premier
cures
League.
everything.
Indian Premier League scene.
In the first 2 years, the IPL doubled in value.
Wow.
And in the decade
Okay.
since, it
So-
has developed a
This is what a lot of people were talking about. So again, I'm referencing for my father, not for you guys. I know you guys watching are huge cricket fans. it's kind of like soccer, you know, or how it is overseas. You got the German Bundesliga.
Yeah.
You got the Calico, which is, you know, Italy and stuff. Okay.
Right.
So same thing, IPL, there's like a BLL or a BPL, like all different types of, again, just depends on what region you're in. So yeah, this is what they were trying to explain to me. So this hopefully they have a little bit more of an idea and they'll tell you hopefully they tell us what places are regions are considered that.
Brand of cricket that combines entertainment with fast-paced action and attracts players from around the world.
I like that team name they had up there on the
Team
board.
owners
Night
include
Riders.
Bollywood stars like Preeti Zinta and Shah Rukh Khan, who take an active role in promoting the league.
India, cricket and film is a religion, and blending the two.
Wait, she's
an owner.
She's an owner, but she's an actress,
Yeah.
so she's a huge cricket fan. Oh, by the way, I'm single, just let you know. I'm sorry, she's gorgeous.
With IPL, the
I'm
Indians
moving.
finally
India, I'm
discovered
moving.
a 3
We're going to India,
hour
guys. We'll see you in a
Bollywood
couple
movie,
weeks.
Which is actually live cricket.
It is player number 8.
Every season opens with the auction where celebrity owners bid for players.
What?
Teams also create their own anthems.
Oh my.
Like this one,
That's
promoting
cool.
the Kolkata Knight Riders and featuring Bollywood star and team
Yeah,
owner
the Night Riders.
Shah
Yeah,
Rukh
that's what I'm
Khan.
saying for the team.
The Indian Premier League version with
Bro,
these
they took that to a different level.
television excitements and these wonderful sort of routines and dances and flames going up.
They brought in American, what do you call them? Not the can-can girls, the American cheerleaders.
Cricket has never had a primetime TV product that we can put on every night of the week. And that is essentially what has turned T20 in from being a very good game for crowds to go to being the #1 thing in cricket.
There's no turning back. If the sponsors are telling you this is where they want to put their funds, and the spectators are coming through the gates, and the TV rights are huge in T20.
You can't
compared
really
to other
stop
things,
what's
and
already being
you gotta
in
run with
motion
it.
like
The
that.
number of international matches of one-day cricket has declined over the last decade, while the number of international T20s has increased. Over a century after England introduced Test cricket to the colonies, this new form of the game has spread outwards from India.
They're showing all the different
India has
leagues.
given.
So wait, let me see. So this is the BPL right here. This is the Big Bash League. That's one of. So they recommended doing a lot of BPL reactions because, or BBL. I apologize. BBL reactions because they're not as content restricted. And now I see why the IPL, because the IPL is the richest, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's almost the same thing over in England when dealing with soccer. Same thing. Other places like Liga and stuff like that are a lot more loose with their copyright. But if we do IPL videos of India, so anything IPL related, we might get copyright strikes. And I think this is the map I wanted to see, because now I know what people are talking about when they were replying to me about, hey, you got to watch out for IPL videos. And I'm like, I don't even know the difference between BBL and IPL yet. I know it's different regions. That's how they divide them. But I haven't seen this right in front of us. So this actually is really nice. I'm glad they have this in here. I was afraid I was going to have to look it up. But see, then this tells me, so this is the BPL. So I'm not confused. This is BPL. That is BBL. But the IPL is obviously the richest and spends the most money. That's the one we can do reactions to, but they're going to be a little bit tougher because it's very heavily copyrighted. And clearly, they have a lot of money behind them. But we also got the CPL, which is the Caribbean, and we got the T20 test, which is Blast. It's just called, I guess.
That's England.
And then, of course, I didn't even see we got the SS, the Super Smash. We got the Big Bash League. We got the Bangladesh Premier League. So we still have like 4 or 5
a model for
leagues
other
to check
countries to
out.
follow.
So.
When the IPL was successful, all these other places went.
But again,
"Well,
the
we'll set up our
IPL
own
we
leagues,
can't
we'll try
really
and be
react
successful."
too much.
The difference is that the money and the TV is just not as strong in some
Just
of
like
those
here
other
when
places.
we
So
have
the BBL
problems
in
with
Australia
those
is a very
big-time
successful
videos.
league. Just
Same
doesn't
thing.
have 1 billion people willing to watch
So
it.
thank you guys for
Now,
looking out
it
for
is
me. I know what you guys
IPL
are
is where
saying
they
about
earn
that
the
now.
money. All the cricketers from this country want to go and play in IPL.
When international cricketers were asked if they would consider rejecting an opportunity to play for their country if they were offered more money to play professional T20, half responded yes.
people will develop
Really?
an opinion that some players don't like playing for their country. They're just running the money down. But sport is about money. You know, you have to make a living. You're a sports person.
This is entertainment. And you can watch it every night, and there'll be an unfolding narrative, and that's what sport is at its best. I've got no problem with that. If cricket isn't trying to entertain people, I'm not really sure why we're playing it.
The game has evolved, and again,
Best words you could say.
entertainment is key. So even though I have a great appreciation for Test cricket, and my career was spanned over the period when Test cricket was strong, I still have an understanding of where the game has to go, where it's gone, and there's no turning back.
And wherever the game goes, it won't be decided by British gentlemen sitting in a boardroom.
Oh, the power of cricket has shifted from England to India. There's no question about it. While Lord's is still seen as the home of cricket, that's a symbolic home of cricket. It's like seeing Rome as the great capital of the world. That was a long time ago.
Because the
you know,
gladiators,
that is in history.
Okay. Well, I mean, let's just real quick. I mean, for you, how much did that help you out?
Well, it helped a lot because I, like the one gentleman said, there's an evolution to the game. They realize that everybody's trying to get more fans, and that 2020 really changed the way that everybody plays. And for me, I'm glad they did it.
Yeah.
And I know that they're trying to, with India and England and Bangladesh and Pakistan and all those places with all those people, they would like to broaden their horizons so that I'm a big cricket fan, just like the NBA is a world team now with China and all of Spain and Italy. Everybody's playing basketball. And cricket, I believe there's a place for it in America, and hopefully we'll be proponents of it.
Yeah.
And we'll see what we can do. But
And I mean, if you think about it too, we're doing a reaction on YouTube to videos of guys from India and Bangladesh that we would never have the chance to see if it wasn't for the internet. So you got to remember back in like the 90s and early 90s and 80s and especially 70s and beyond that, I mean, they didn't have computers, like you said, and even one of the biggest things you said, not having TV. So I actually, thinking about that logically, the test, the T20, the test, actually wouldn't have been bad if I was a player. But obviously, again, too, that's without internet or anything like that. Because you can come home these days and you can go on YouTube. You can look up any team that you like of any sports team of any country, any place in the world. And you can watch tons of highlights about them. I mean, it's YouTube. It's got everything.
Yeah.
So, again, you can literally type in reaction to cricket explained, and you can see us or you can watch other people. Of course, watch us, please. But, of course, that's what I'm trying to say is it's just so much easier to access that I do get, again, why under 3 hours is the new way of cricket. Because it's kind of fitting itself in with every other sport out there, because a lot of people don't know in the history of actual other sports such as soccer, aka football, everything evolves with time. Just like basketball, the first hoop in basketball was a triangle, and the fact that basketball is so popular in America, it was created in Canada, which is not what you would expect. You would expect hockey, I would assume, but again, the first basket in basketball wasn't even round. It was literally a triangle. If you didn't make almost a near perfect basket, it just bounced out. That was the first one. So again, though, 30, 40 years later, now you have round basketball hoops, completely different. The backboard is a lot bigger and different. Just so many different things. So
they went to a peach basket you know, that you hold peaches in. That's what they used, cut the bottom out. But the one thing that I really liked towards the end was when they showed an average guy, average Joe, out in the field playing, which takes me back to when I was a kid playing baseball. We wished, I mean, I could play it all day.
Yeah.
You know, if you're playing it out in the field somewhere and you want to go for 5 hours, hey, go home for lunch, come back.
Think about it.
But it shows the roots of it. It's not all big stadiums, and they worked their way up, and I was really glad to see at the end that they showed the average guy in like a field that had some grass, some dirt, but they were playing the game.
Yeah, exactly.
And the love of the game, the spirit of the game.
And I liked how they literally everything that they explained, everything just made sense by the time this video got over. So
Yeah.
I'm going to go on that. I think the last thing is more so now I want to learn about the players, the best ones. You know, we talked about Donnie and other players we already did reactions to. But we got a lot of other players that we want to react to. So we're going to go on to those ones. We've already done over 30 minutes just for this video.
Wow.
I apologize, but we wanted to talk about it and just really get to the bottom of learning cricket to its fullest and making sure we have all the right facts. So without further ado, we're headed off to the next video, guys. Hope you guys are having a beautiful day as always, but we are headed out. So happy trails, and you guys have a beautiful day. We're out. Peace.
Bye.